we don't have the Heavenly Mother. She has been hidden away. She's been removed. Even in our modern day Christianity, we don't have her as a focal point where she was anciently. Egypt is one of my favorite places to go to, and I guess it's because it's the most ancient place that you can visit on the earth and see in stone history that has been recorded. The top 5 places that we take our people to in Egypt would be Abu Simbel, which is a temple site that's built by Ramses II, and he's got a temple dedicated to his wife Nefertari, as well as the goddess Hathor. And we also go to the Luxor Temple, which is a human body in a physical temple form. It's amazing to visit that. We also go to the Giza Plaza and have an opportunity to not only see the Great Pyramids, but to go inside 2 of those pyramids and have the geometric energy that is attached to each of those pyramids. You get to feel that personally. Last but not least is enjoying a cruise along the Nile. Not too many people can have that opportunity to check that off their bucket list, but having a cruise on the River Nile. One of my most exciting places to take our clients to in Egypt is Abu Simbel. And it's because of the sacred geometry that's attached to that place. And we won't get into all of that right now, but we actually plan our tours so that you can witness a solar alignment, which is what most of these sacred sites around the world are lined up with. And we visit that site on Ramses II birthday so that you can watch the solar alignment that takes place in the sanctuary. And that, for me, is super exciting to realize that these buildings that were constructed thousands and thousands of years ago, today we can witness what they were designed to do, knowing that we don't even have the technology to replicate what they did back then. So the sacred mysteries attached to Egypt, there's many of them. What I love the most about the sacred mysteries are that they attach themselves to the divine feminine, or a mother goddess, or what I would call a heavenly mother. And so just being able to be in a culture, in an area of the world where the woman, the female, the goddess, the heavenly mother was honored and venerated is amazing, because through most of history, we don't have the Heavenly Mother. She has been hidden away. She's been removed. Even in our modern day Christianity, we don't have her as a focal point where she was anciently. And so that is something I really enjoy exploring while I'm there in Egypt. In Egypt, it's quite easy to incorporate the local traditions because they are etched in stone. I could sit and tell you about the idea that there is a father god, and he's married to a goddess. He has his goddess wife, but I can actually take you in Egypt and take you and visit the Temple of Isis in Aswan, or take you to Dendera, the Temple of Hathor, and you can see a building that is actually built to honor and worship these ancient goddesses. And that's what's amazing, is that those sites are still there to visit. So there's a lot of misunderstanding about the Egyptian theology, and part of it, I believe, is tied to the idea that they worship animals, which can be considered pagan. And as you get in and study the theology of especially the old religion, is they're taking attributes of an animal and attaching it to that god or that goddess. And so the idea that Hathor is represented by a cow with the bovine ears, that is attached to her. Another element that we have that's attached to a mother goddess is Sekhmet, who has the lioness. She has the lion head. And even in today's modern world, you have the idea of a mama bear, or they call them grizzly grandmas now. We attach an animal behavior to women. Okay, and so that was done anciently as well. It doesn't mean that they were worshiping a falcon. It doesn't mean that they were worshiping the lion. They were taking the attributes of those animals and attaching them to the god or the goddess that they were worshiping. Father god, which would be Amun or Horus, who was his sun god, because of their ability to ascend to the heavens, they were always represented by a falcon or a bird that could fly and ascend through the sky. One of the traditions I found interesting while I've been doing my travels to Egypt is visiting Elephantine Island down near Aswan. And it's because of the history that I learned with Dr. Hall about the Jewish apostasy, and to visit a site that actually confirms what I was learning from Dr. Hall and Dr. Margaret Barker, who teaches about the Jewish apostasy. But we were able to visit an ancient temple site that was on Elephantine Island, which was a refugee area that the Jews came to from Jerusalem when the temple period was happening, when they were destroying the first temple period. We had refugees that were heading down to Egypt for safe refuge. And that's one of my favorite sites. There's other things attached to the measurement of day through the summer solstice, but most importantly is visiting a place that confirms historical context that you've not been able to read about before.